So I think we'll start with Q&A, and I'll take all the questions. I'll try to answer in my best possible way. So you can unmute yourself and start asking questions.
Hello. Yes, so actually, I had one question regarding multiple time frames.
Mhm.
So there are certain charts where the daily time frame and the weekly time frame are not agreeing in terms of uh, immediate movement or the candle that it is forming. So in such cases, is it recommended to take a trade if the daily chart is positive, or then should one wait for both of the charts to agree?
Yeah. So ideally, see, there is very important aspect. See, we have around 500 to 6,000 companies listed in NSE or BSE, right?
Hmm.
So it's obvious that I think most of the companies are probably not getting traded, or not, people are not interested to trade into a certain set of companies. But if you see, there are only maybe 100 or 200 or 300 companies probably, which are heavily traded, and which are in a relatively in a good trend. If you just take example of, just 1 minute, I'll just show you one very nice example wherein, okay, so even in the case of let's say Eicher Motors, so we are now checking at chart of 3 years. Okay, let me just increase the time frame to 5 years. Okay, so that we get the 200 moving average as well. Okay, so if you see in the Eicher Motors, let me increase the time frame here as well to 2 years, so you get more wider range. Yeah. So we entered into this script based on this resistance, and based on these resistance levels. Now, if you notice that the stock has been below these levels, okay, but what I thought was, if I just draw one more line over here, okay, so this is the same trend line, okay. Now, my thinking was that this particular line over here, so this particular chart is going to create a VCP pattern of 2T. So this is my first T, this is the second one, and after that I was hoping that it will give a breakout. Okay, now that has not happened over here, but if you just neglect these last two candles, okay, and if you come to daily chart, okay, so daily, on the daily, price was around 50-day moving average, so that was first positive signal. Volume was also supporting. I thought maybe even if it touches at this particular price point, it was roughly 2340, I'll be still making a good profit of 10%, and this particular price point will be my stop loss level. I'll be trailing my stop loss upwards, and I'll exit the trade. Okay, now the confirmation came from weekly chart as well, okay, that this is a resistance. Okay, this line is going to act as a resistance. If you notice that this particular candle tried to breach this value, and it corrected very fast, came below the resistance level as well. So even if I assume this line as a resistance, my first target is going to get achieved. Okay, that is roughly 2340. And if you see the same value on moving average of 200, that is almost the same value. It's roughly near 2340. So that stock could have given me good 10% easily, but unfortunately the trade has went negative. So probably on Monday or the next week's closing will decide whether to continue with the script or not. Okay, so while taking this particular trade, I was sure that I'll be happy with a profit of 10 or 15%, so I took the trade. But in the most of the cases, in case of now this is a weak chart, let us open a very strong chart, let's say um, TCS. Okay, so we'll check the daily chart first. Okay, so what we have on the chart is moving average 50 and 200. I'll just enable 20 as well. Okay, Okay, now when we notice that the stock has been uptrend, so this is the fall, the crash that has happened in the March. The stock has corrected very rapidly. Overall, the trend is still up on daily charts. Okay, now if you check the values over here, the stock is correcting. Okay, if you see, there was a gap that was created. This is a breakaway gap, and the stock is somehow respecting this gap, and you can see that from 2600 it is rising up again. Okay, now these are strong signs. So 2600 was my first, so 2600 could be my first buying level. Okay, now let us see if this stock goes below this level. So what would be my next buying level? It would be this level, 2512. Why? Because I have strong support at this particular level. Plus there is a 50-day moving average also coming from below, and it will also additionally act as a support level. So anything between 2500 to 2600 should be a buying price. What would be my stop loss? Again, the same level. Let's say 24990. So we can keep any stop loss below 50-day moving average. Now this confirmation as a buying signal we have got on TCS. Okay. Now let us check what is there on weekly charts, which could be resisting to these prices. Okay, so I'll just enable the 20-day moving average as well. Okay, so if you see the behavior over here, so on weekly charts, if you see on the weekly charts, again the breakaway gap is acting as a very strong support, and it's very unlikely that the price is going to go below this level. If it goes, again this would be my support level. Now technically there is no any other resistance that could stop this stock price to go up. Other thing that we can do is we can check the monthly chart as well. So I take the all data. So you can notice long-term trend is up. So on month basis, the stock is going to go up. Okay. Now see, this has been anybody who has entered at these prices. So these are the levels wherein strong players would come in. So 50-day moving average, 200 moving average has overlapped each other. Even the market prices have came around these average levels. If you just neglect 20-day moving average over here, and this is the 50-day moving average on monthly basis, so this particular value, okay, which is 117, if you see here, this is 117. So this particular value is 1200 rupees approximately. So this average is of last 50 months. Okay, last 50 months. So that means in the 50 months, okay, whatever the price action that has got played out, average of that is this value, 1200 rupees, and current market price is also 1200 rupees. Okay, which means the stock is absolutely at a very attractive levels to buy in. So when this consolidation continues, you can see a very strong buying would come after a breakout. Okay, see, then there would be a rally of almost, I think, 40% probably or more. It's almost 80% of rally that is covered over here. After that, the stock again goes into consolidation. Here you can see this is the fall of March, and all the trades that are happening here are all auto generated, or the algo trades that are coming over here, and you can see the huge buying which happens, and it takes stock value above 200 moving average. Again, whenever there is a consolidation, you can see the price will try to go as close as possible to monthly stock levels. Okay, but this is a clear stock in uptrend. Let me take another example. Let's say Wellspun India. So this particular stock I have identified. So as per my study, this stock is in its stage 2. So if you check the monthly chart, okay, so if you notice this particular candle, okay, I think the stock had fallen by 40% in just 2 days 20% was lower circuit level. So on day one, it fell down by 20%. On the next day also, it fell down by 20%. Okay. This has been the growth stage of the stock. If I just open weekly chart, you can clearly see all four stages in this particular stock. Yeah. So you can see the consolidation and accumulation in this step. So this is step one. Then this is my stage two. And with the mild consolidation at the top, okay, the stock got corrected. It bounced back a little, but it had already started its decline phase. Okay. The stock has been in decline from 2017 till this crash. Stock came till I think 18 rupees. Okay. Now let me just reduce the period over here. Let us take last 5 years. Okay, so you can see that there is a very strong decline that has happened for this multiple years from 17 to Jan 20. Now if I just check the daily chart of Wellspun, you will find it very bullish. Yeah, so if you just reduce the against the weekly, so if you check this weekly chart, you can see that there's a clear-cut strong uptrend. Okay, and let's say the price corrects and it gives you opportunity to buy at 63. So for now, the stock looks bullish. Okay, but if you check the same stock on weekly, at this particular price point, we are saying this is bullish, but around these levels. So around these levels, if you draw a trend line like this, okay, many may have exited around this level. Okay, by the way, this was a VCP breakout that the stock has given. If you see a 2T formation over here, let me show it on daily charts. I'll draw a horizontal line from this point. So you can see this is a classic VCP pattern that the stock has formed. It had increased the volumes as well over here, and after that it has given a very strong breakout. Okay, as in the stock is constantly in up move. It even broke its own weekly long-term trend as well. Okay, so when you want to make a buying decision, so let's say I want to buy into this particular breakout. So what exactly I can think? So let's say 40 rupees is my buying price. Okay, on this particular same day, just before the breakout level, if you just check, this trend line was acting as a resistance. Okay, so on this particular week, and you can see, if you can see this shadow over here, the price has corrected. Okay, and the stock took additional effort to break the long-term trend line, and when it broke this particular trend line, you can see that after that it has not, in fact this trend line became a very strong support. Okay, the price came down in the next week. Let me just reduce the time frame. Okay, the trend line has gone now. Let me just draw something like this. Yeah. Okay, so you can see that the breakout came, and after that the stock price has not came down below that particular trend line. So this is the most major support level for this particular stock. So below this line was acting as a resistance. The stock was not able to go above this particular line, and now once it is above this line, you can see that it is constantly making higher highs. Okay, and I think the company had posted relatively weaker results. That is why this correction has come. But company has been posting a lot of weak results over these years. I hold this stock in my father's portfolio, but you can see that from 18 rupees the stock has gone above 80 rupees. Okay, it's almost 79 rupees. So the stock has given 400% returns in this matter of for last 6 months. So the fundamentally there are few changes in the company which are good, but the stock has ran without any strong reason, just because of the technical setup that it gave the VCP breakout, and then it went above the long term trend line. So to your question, if you get the buying confirmation on daily charts. Okay, it has to give additional confirmation on weekly charts as well. Okay, if that is missing, or if there is something that is going to act as a very strong resistance, ideally you should not take that trade. The reason is, there might be very strong selling that could come in advance, and it will wipe out your existing gains, or it will widen your losses. Okay, so that can happen. So if there is a very small margin, that can be there in case of, in case you're deciding anything on the weekly charts. If there is, let's say, hardly any margin, let's say, very minuscule margin of, let's say, 5 or 6%, I think we should try to avoid that particular trade. Okay, are there any questions? So if we have time, I think I can quickly talk about scanners in charting, if that is okay with you, or we can continue with the questions. All right, so what we will do is, we'll quickly talk about scans. Okay, I'll quickly talk about the screeners. Okay, which is very useful tool. It has a Android application as well. So what you can do is, you can go to screeners. You can create a fresh account there. It's a free tools for basic features. So whatever the as a trader, it's always difficult to find exactly what fundamentally happening in the company. So what you can do is, you can create a watch list. Okay, you can edit your existing scripts. So these are few companies which I'm tracking currently, and you can add or import more companies over here. What it does is, it provides you a custom dashboard. Again, this is available in your Android app also. So all your existing companies, whenever they post some kind of notification to exchanges, BSE or NSE, you will get a quick link of all those companies. So you don't have to track all companies one by one. Okay, it also gives you idea about upcoming results. So in case the company posts some bad news or extremely good news, so obviously there is going to be very wild movement in the stock. So also the result screen is also equally important, because on that screen you get to know where exactly your company is going to post quarterly results or annual results. And those are important events wherein there could be wild movements seen in the stock prices. And what you can do is, you can make your own screener, and keep note of the announcement that the company is doing. So this is one thing, and we'll quickly talk about scan. So what you can do is, you can create your Chartlink account and create these custom scans. Yeah, so these are few scanners that I've created. So the most important one is this VCP pattern. So what it does is, it gives you all the stocks which are qualifying VCP criteria. Okay, what it does is, it narrows down your research. Okay, so obviously we cannot keep checking chart of all the 5,000 or 6,000 companies listed in NSE or BSE. So what the scans are going to do, those are going to filter out companies based on a certain criteria. So if you check few stocks which are here, like Marks and Pharma's, FSL, these stocks, I found out from this particular, scanner. So what we do is, if anything appears over here, then we open the chart, and then we start analyzing the chart. Okay, if everything is positive in terms of the patterns, in terms of buying levels, and in case we think that it is going to give a clear cut breakout, then we enter into that particular stock. So let us check the daily chart. So this chart is Markson. We hold a position into this one. So if you notice that this particular stock has given a breakout from VCP pattern, if you notice the pattern over here, okay. So you can also notice a cheat that the stock had created over here. Okay, and technically this is 3C pattern. Okay, and after that you can see that the stock has started moving up. It goes into consolidation phase. It goes into consolidation phases like this. Okay, so you can see that the range is getting narrower and narrower, and eventually it will break out. You can also see some more consolidation, but stock has been holding 50-day moving average very well. The green line is 50-day moving average. From 50-day, it is rising back every time. And you can see again a narrow range that the stock has created, and it's ready for a breakout. Now, it's not necessary that it is going to give a breakout. It can give a breakdown as well. Okay. Now, your stop loss level would be at least this price point. Okay, which is 48 rupees. So I think our buying is around 50 rupees for most of us, and the stop loss is 48%, so roughly 4%. But if it is going to give a breakout, I think it would be a quite large breakout. I think the first target would be 57 if everything works well. But that profit of 7 rupees is still around what 14%, so not a bad profit. Okay. Then there is one more company, FSL. I think we also talked about Dabur there. Yeah. So if you check the VCP pattern over here, let me draw a horizontal line. Yeah, we can draw this one. Okay. So if you notice, it was again a VCP pattern, and after that, the price is staying consistently above 20-day moving average. Now the stock has gone in a consolidation phase. Okay, if you notice here, okay, it is forming a very nice range. Okay, so as long as stock stays above, or as long as stock stays inside this box, okay, we are okay. And above this level, which is 75, okay, it should give a breakout, and that level will become new support. Okay, you can also see that the box is taking well support of 50-day moving average as well. From 70 rupees, you can see that I think from 69 rupees, it took the support of 50-day moving average and closed above 50-day moving average. So these are very good signs, as long as the stock is not breaking this range. We're okay. Above 75, it will give a very strong breakout, and below 69, it will be a breakdown. So this is one scanner that I use very often. This scanner by default works on cash segment. What you can do is you can just change the segment to futures only or Nifty 50 only. And if you see, if you can check how many stocks are there which are qualifying this criteria in Nifty 50, so there is no stock that is qualifying this criteria. So the criteria that we have over here is, if you check this, I'm checking that, EMA, that is a moving average of 13 is greater than 26 as the moving average, and this is I'm checking on weekly basis. Similarly, 26 has to be greater than 50. You can change it to, let's say, 20 greater than 50 and 50 greater than 200 and so on. Plus we are checking that the stock value has to be it has to be greater than 30% from its low, and at least greater than 75%. Okay, the stock price has to be less than 30% from its all-time high, or from its 52-week high, or it has to be greater than 75% from the low point of the year. Okay, that is from 52 weeks. So what happens here is, for that remaining 30%, stock will move very rapidly. Okay, because this is the qualification criteria, because all the traders will want their stock to move very rapidly, so they get faster appreciations for their investments. So this is the range where this 30% move will happen very rapidly. Plus, when the stock crosses the 50-day moving average, 52-week high price, okay, the stock will come on many more screeners or scanners that like the one we are using. It will Many people would have their different scanners. So 52-week high is a very major scanner which many swing traders are using. So they want enjoy the 5 or 7% rally that stock can give very fast, and 52 week high is a very strong price if the price is going to breach. So the moment price goes above 52 week high, so that is particular point wherein many traders would want to jump in and take a trade for a fast swing. And these are the levels which we should also ideally look for. And when there is a this kind of euphoria created into a stock, that should be a clear cut exit level. Unless you want to hold that stock for some more time, I think you can book partial profit or add when the stock gets corrected significantly. So the second scanner is this 52-week high. What you can do is you can just click on this one, and it will list down all the stocks which are crossing their 52-week high. What I'll do is I'll reshare these links also, and that would be a good starting point. So see, you can see that all the stocks which have closed above 52-week high have closed in positive. Okay, so 2%, 3%. Adani Gas has been closed at 7%. Now, if you just anticipate these kind of stocks, okay, probably on the next day these are good shorting candidates as well. Also, in case the stock has very strong, if the stock has been in a very strong trend, there are very high chances that after a mild correction, which would give us right entry point to buy that particular share, and the stock price will go up again. Okay, it will eventually go above the new high as well. Okay, so I'll share these two links with you. And so this VCP pattern is based on Mark Minervini's trading strategy. So VCP has been his favorite pattern, and it is the most common pattern which gives very substantial return in very short period of time. I think we are close to, we have almost covered everything that was planned. So I'll share these slides with you, and you can practice everything that we discussed, especially these particular 4 points during the week. And in the next week, we can have a quick Q&A sessions, because there could be some mistakes which we can get corrected, and you can start analyzing more and more charts. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm pretty sure this has been a great learning experience for all of us. I also know that because this was a crash course, there could be some topics which you may not have understood, and which we will definitely try to cover in the next session, especially in the Q&A session. I really hope that this begins a very strong and positive journey towards your trading career. I wish you all the best for that. Thank you so much again for participating, and we'll stay in touch in the groups that we have. Thank you so much, everyone. Good day.